Welcome to Sacred Stories Podcast, a place to explore and discuss new and exciting books of consciousness. I am your host, Reverend Patricia Caginello, and speaking with authors that have shared their wisdom, stories, and a higher consciousness through their books is one of my favorite things to do. Today we are speaking with Helen Brennand, equine body worker, animal communicator, founder of The Haven, a healing sanctuary for people and horses, and author of her book, Belief, her mystical true story of her own healing with the help of her beloved horses. Welcome, Helen Brennand, to Sacred Stories.
Oh, hi, Patricia. It's lovely to speak to you today.
Yes, I'm very excited about speaking with you about Belief because your book has such a resonance with such a large number of people that not only have experiences or traumas in their own lives that they're working through and working on healing, but relationship with the beloved animal kingdom and horses particularly.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's belief is centered around the heart and unconditional love. And it was through the horses that I really sort of opened up to that aspect of what the animal kingdom offer us, and the power in that healing capacity that sometimes we overlook when we're really busy with life. And it was in that period of time that I really resonated with them on a different level.
Right. So you've had a deep connection with animals and horses for a period of time, but your experience that you share in your book Belief, as you say, takes it to a whole other level, almost transcended,
Yes.
the regular interaction or love we can feel from our animal companions.
Oh, yes. Well, it was, a ride that they offered me, a very different ride into a higher level of consciousness, which was quite a shock, really. It wasn't something that I was expecting, but as I suppose as I opened up to this experience and this opportunity that they were offering, and I let go, it just it did transcend everything in daily life. And I felt from such a deep part inside of me this yearning to experience and go beyond that. Just one by one, each of the horses, they could see that there was a way in, and I was ready to ride with them on this fast journey of discovery. And the things that were revealed were truths about so many aspects of my life and everyday life and the world. So it was so multifaceted. It's sometimes quite hard to articulate just how wonderful it was.
I love the way you communicate that they offered you a ride, but a different kind of ride. So it's really through them sharing their consciousness with you that facilitated your deep healing of your trauma.
Yeah, they became the facilitators. That is a perfect word for the experiences that I began to have. And in that place when I was experiencing personal loss, and they came to me through what I can only describe as this connection of unconditional love, that they became my teachers. And it has become very much that. Even now, it's not something that's ended. It's unconditional in the sense that we to and fro, and I am there for them and they are there for me, and we understand each other in this unspoken communication. And that unspoken communication made me realize that the natural world is always trying to help us. We find life really difficult, and we all meet challenges daily. But what is offered so close to us and all around us is love, understanding, and knowledge that if we allow ourselves to just let go and be present, we can utilize it in the most beautiful and amazing ways and change our world.
Helen, share with us a little bit of your sacred story that led to this experience with the horses and led to the writing of your book, Belief.
Yeah, well, it began in 2012 when I was sat with them one evening, and I just heard a voice say that I would have a child that would come and change lives. And I thought, wow. It was very, one of those moments where you think, goodness, and your mind runs with that. Your mind has its own ideas about all that. And I did get pregnant, but I lost the child. And after the child's funeral, I was embraced by the horses and nurtured in a way I don't think people could have helped me, because it was so gentle, it was unspoken, and I could just be. But what I realised as I went through this experience, because obviously I'd heard that this child was coming to change lives, and then I thought the child hasn't come, and he's died. But what I realised was our lives changed direction. The whole family's lives changed direction, and in doing so, we began to offer something that enriched other people's lives. So this child was fulfilling that initial message, because without the loss of him, I would never, ever have got off the treadmill and created the haven, and I would never have realised just how much I was missing with the horses and what they were trying to offer to us and our community and people who came. So it was a very enriching story in the end.
Tell us more about your horses. One or two of them. What are their names and something special about each one?
Okay. Well, Donna is a beautiful bay mare. She's a sports horse, so she's very athletic, very intelligent, and when she works with people, we always name her as Love, because she just knows when to step in and offer unconditional love. If we're facilitating a session, she is her timing is phenomenal, and just as they all are, but she knows when someone is ready to meet unconditional love, and it can be quite a powerful experience. We have Remedy, who is described in Belief as the copper-coloured angel, and she is just that. And she to us is wisdom, and she will always step in when a person needs to let go of something, some energy or memory within them that is stagnating their growth. And she's no nonsense.
Okay. You shared with us one of the things you learned is that the animal kingdom is always available, and nature is always available to us as we need them. Is that one of the main things you've learned from your experience with the horses, or would you like to share something else as well?
I think one of the most powerful things that I've learned that's changed everything for me was that fear is manufactured, and that the heart can neutralize fear, and that we must use the most powerful tool we've got if we want to enjoy life fully, which is to embrace the heart and the wisdom and knowledge that it shares with us. So I think that was most probably the biggest lesson that I learned from them.
That's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And what do you hope people receive when they're reading your book, Belief?
Well, I really hope that people ride with us on the journey and that they allow their logic to just step to one side while they read, and they let the heart feel the freedom that I felt. And I think through the feeling experience that the messages can truly be shared in that place of heart connection. So that is what I truly hope that the readers get and feel inspired by the wonder that I experienced.
Tell us a little more about the Haven. So based on your experience with the horses, you've created this sanctuary for horses and for people. Share more about the Haven, please.
The Haven was set up obviously after this experience. I mean, from being a child, I always wanted to create a place of safety for animals. But obviously, because of the experience, it's evolved into something very different. My desire for it has evolved into something different because I don't come from fear now, whereas before I did. So the Haven has become very much a place where equality between us, the animals, is shared. So their wisdom is very much part of the evolution of what we do. And at the moment, it's very much they want to share their wisdom with us. And that is where we are sort of taking the Haven now, which is to allow people to come and experience just whatever it is that they need to experience at this time to grow in and live fuller, happier lives. So and we're very much also really open to the young people who I believe have such wisdom and knowledge within them, and we encourage them to share that inspiration that is within their hearts. And we're trying to create a platform for a voice for the young people who come, and to create conversation between them.
And how can people find out more about you, your book Belief, in the Haven?
Well, if people would like to have a look on the website, which is www.belief444.com, there is information about us, about the horses, about the books, and the platform that we're just starting to create. If young people would like to share anything, any of their inspiration that they've had through nature, or any concerns that they have about the environment, where they would like to start to discuss and find like-minded young people.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful that not only are you sharing with adults and you're bringing an awareness and experience with the animals through the Haven, but that you're also really specifically reaching out and including the young people. I think that is so important today.
Yeah, definitely, because the young people that I am certainly meeting are they're amazing, and I'm so proud of them. And I can see that when they're allowed to and they're listened to, they have got just phenomenal resources within them. They're just waiting to share them. They just need a safe place to do that. So
absolutely. Helen Brennand, thank you very much for being with us on Sacred Stories today.
Thank you for having me, Patricia. It's been really good. Thank you.
It's been wonderful, and I just want, again, to share with everyone that Helen's book, Belief, is her true mystical story of her healing through the help of her beloved horses. Her website is belief444.com, and that's where you can find out more about Helen, her book, and the Haven, the healing sanctuary that she's created that people can visit and experience and meet the horses themselves. You've been listening to Sacred Stories, available on sacredstoriesmedia.com, iTunes, and all streaming services. I appreciate you listening, and until next time, let's write our sacred stories well.